I'm Rochelle Lucas, and I'm searching for the world's greatest grills. Today I'm with Rick here in Central Florida, and he is a collector of the Komodo Kamado. Nice to meet you, Rick.
You too, how are you?
I'm wonderful. So this grill is actually like a piece of lawn sculpture. This is beautiful.
Thank you.
And how often do you cook with it?
I cook with it several times a week, every chance I get.
I hear you don't use your oven much anymore at all.
I don't use the oven at all. I cook on this every day that I'm home to cook.
Well, I'm looking forward to see how you make that happen.
All right.
Rick, it's wonderful to be here with you today in your backyard, and I'm amazed by this piece of equipment. I mean, it's beautiful. It's not like an eyesore grill at all.
It's a grill. You can cook with it. It's beautiful. It's weatherproof because, ceramic tile, this grout is got something in it that's going to keep it from soaking up moisture. You can get this in all kinds of colors. I got blue because it's what I could get at the time. I really wanted the brown, but I couldn't get the brown.
Now, what is the benefit of ceramic for a grill? I see so many grills that are stainless steel or metal. What is the benefit of having ceramic?
The biggest benefit, the thickness of these walls. They absorb heat and they keep the grill hot with less fire for a longer period of time. Once these walls are hot, they release the heat back into the food.
Oh, okay.
So it's very efficient. You can cook with a lot less fuel at a wide range of temperatures, from smoking 225 degrees up to grilling a pizza at 600-700 degrees if you want.
So that sort of makes it eco-friendly, I guess, in that it's efficient with fuel.
You're burning wood and you're burning charcoal. there are some emissions, but it's efficient as far as a grill goes. Yeah,
Wonderful.
You're burning less wood.
Well, Rick, I actually read an article that said that the wood used in here is actually carbon neutral. It's the same amount as a tree would be, just decaying in the woods.
Okay, that's good to know.
Kind of offsets your carbon offsets here for grilling.
I'm going to cook with wood for the flavor. If it's good for the environment, that's great. I've got a propane tank there. I don't necessarily use it. This can burn on propane, by the way. It has a burner that you can get with it.
That's interesting. And what's your favorite wood to cook with? Like, how many different types of wood could you cook with, and what types of different flavors do they create?
Kind of have to clarify a little bit. You're not really cooking with wood. You're cooking with charcoal, and you can introduce any kind of wood to it. Cherry, it depends what you're cooking. Cherry, great with red meats. Cherry's great with pork. Whatever you got. Any kind of fruit wood's great.
And how does the fruit wood change the flavor? Like, why would you pick a specific type of wood for a specific type of meat?
It's not as technical as maybe trying to pair a wine.
Okay.
But it's the same principle. It's a slight flavor difference, and you're just layering those flavors together.
Well, let's look inside this baby.
Okay.
It looks heavy.
It is heavy. It's as heavy as both of us together. This is probably 500 plus pounds of ceramic here. You can see just, with the thickness of these walls, there's some heft there, but it's spring loaded. It opens and it closes with little to no effort at all. You could lift this with 2 fingers. You lift it with 1 handful of food if you want.
Oh, let me test that theory. 2 fingers?
2 fingers.
Oh, it didn't even take 1.
No, it comes up by itself in 2 fingers to put it down. Let that catch. That seals it tight.
Wonderful. So tell me about this cooking surface. It looks really heavy duty.
This is heavy. It's 3/8 inch stainless. It's got a lot of weight to it. This is probably 20 pounds of stainless right there.
Oh, wow. I'll take your word for it.
Why do you need that? Once these bars get hot, they'll hold that heat. They'll give you those nice sear marks that you find on your steaks and on your meat. Also, if you're cooking a big piece of meat, it's not uncommon on a thinner grate, when you get some heat to it, that the weight of the meat itself, with the heat making the metal soft, can get a bow and it can start to break down. These aren't going to rust, and they're certainly not going to bend.
There seems to be a lot of cooking grates in there. Do you mind telling me the different levels of cooking?
Sure. There's 3 grates. This one is actually a dual purpose grate. This one up high like this will give you heat in the top, so you're getting a lot of radiant cooking. This is more like baking. It's good for baking chickens. You get a nice golden skin on there. If we were to flip this over, these legs become handles. This is made to sit directly down on the charcoal basket, so this can be a searing grate too. So you can sear your steaks just a couple of inches off of the fire. The main grate, this is kind of the standard grate that you get with Edding Grill. It's hinged in the front so that you can load more charcoal if you're doing a long cook. Another grate down below. This one, I don't typically use the searing grate when I cook steaks. So this is the one that I'll typically cook a steak with. Because it's bigger, I have 4 people. I like to cook lots of steaks, and I'll make baked potatoes and all of that stuff with them. So this one's closer to the fire. You can use this for a few reasons. You can put a drip pan on there if you're cooking on the main grate, something that you want in direct heat. If you want to sear, then you can certainly use this for searing. The charcoal grate, or basket, has handles as well, has kind of a stand that stands up in there. So if you wanted to sear, you can put that searing grate right down there on the basket. Those handles do dual purpose. Not only do they sear with one of these grates, but there's also what we call a heat deflector. It's a round piece of ceramic that you put right on there. It protects everything above it from the fire, so that makes this like a true oven.
So if you're having a big party, exactly how many steaks could you cook at once in this thing?
More than I have room for people here. What you see there probably depends how big they are. If you're doing fillets, 15. If you're doing big strips, 12. Doing a T-bone, 8 to 10.
That's still a lot of steak.
That's just on the searing grill. Now, if you wanted to go up high and you wanted to, roast stuff, I've seen other users of this grill. There's a forum that we all share pictures and stories. I've seen 50 to 75 pounds of meat on one of these at once. Most I've ever cooked on one, probably a 30-pound chuck roll.
Wow.
Full sheet.
What are some of the more unique things you can cook with this grill that you can't do with other grills?
Pizza. I mean, it's. I'll tell you honestly, I have not used my oven in my house for 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
Not once. I've cooked bread in one of these. I bake pizzas in here. I bake any kind of meat, any kind of chicken. You can grill anything that you would grill on a normal grill.
What's the hottest temperature that it will get to?
Hotter than you want it to get. The highest realistic temperature that I've ever taken one up to I won't say that I've never taken one there. If you open the vents and you walk away, it's going to do what it wants to do, which is make fire and get hot. If you walk away too long, this temperature dial, which stops at 750, it'll wrap around. It goes further than that.
Wow. So how do you control the temperature? Like, let's say you're baking bread or pizza and you don't want it to get too hot. How do you control the temperature within the grill?
It's all about airflow. You let air in, more fire. Less air, lower fire.
So as hot as it gets and being made out of ceramic, how does it not crack?
This stuff is made by a company that specializes in kilns. So it's the same kind of material that you're going to have a coke furnace made out of. So it's made to get hot. It's actually 2 layers. So the inside layer will absorb and reflect that heat back in. The outside half of this wall is actually a lighter, more porous, insulating type material. So even though it's 600 degrees inside, I can put my hand on it like this.
Oh, wow.
And not come back with blisters.
Oh, wow.
Down inside, you can see the size of this charcoal basket. This will run for 3 days if you load it up with charcoal and you want to do a long, slow 250 degree cook. But you can see, down inside there's a really thick basket that holds this, that helps protect the walls from the direct heat that you'll get out of this basket. That thing is 2 pieces, so it's easy to remove, to clean out the ashes. It keeps it from cracking because it has, expansion areas in there.
That's great.